President Trump at the White House earlier this week after announcing new reforms to protect people in nursing homes. Take a listen.
I want to send a message of support and hope to every senior citizen who has been dealing with the struggle of isolation in what should be the golden years of your life. We will get to the other end of that tunnel very quickly, we hope. The light is starting to shine.
Seniors were one of the hardest hit groups, as you well know, by the coronavirus pandemic. You may recall the outbreak started in a nursing home in Washington state. The tragedy very quickly spread to other facilities all across the country. Joining us now to talk a little bit more about this and the current status is Mark Parkinson. He's the former Democratic governor of Kansas and also the president and CEO of the American Healthcare Association and the National Center for Assisted Living. That's quite a title that you have, Governor. Thank you so much for the work that you've been doing, of course, on all of this. And we know that you've been following the issue since the very beginning. What do you make now of the reforms that the president has announced this week?
Well, first of all, thank you for covering this so diligently. I think it's really helped point coverage on it and get help. And, the news out of nursing homes is becoming good. With the help of the administration, all of the assistance they provided us, the testing, the PPE, and all of that, new cases in nursing homes have dropped by over 50%. Deaths in nursing homes have dropped by over 70%. And in large part, it's because of the help that we've received. So the president's announcements this week have been really helpful, sending out testing machines to all 15,000 buildings so that we can test on site and get the results right away. Huge, huge help. And then the announcement on Wednesday night of an additional $5 billion to help cover this testing, to help cover staff, and to help buildings that have been really hard hit by COVID, extremely helpul. So, after months of horrible stories about nursing homes, the news is really getting.
And do you think, of course, we love to hear that. And when we hear some of these statistics about coronavirus, I think all of us are getting a little lost in the numbers, which is a very scary thing. So just to put a pinpoint, a headline on it, would you say that this is one of the bright lights now in what we have learned about coronavirus? And even more importantly, do you think seniors are getting that message?
Yeah, this is a bright light. We said early on that if we had the testing and the equipment, especially the mask that we needed, that frankly we just didn't have in March and April, if we could get those into nursing homes, we could tackle this virus. And the numbers speak for themselves. Dramatic reductions in cases in nursing homes, dramatic reductions in deaths. As long as we can keep getting that equipment and that testing, we can keep those deaths down. Even though the number of cases in the U.S. is increasing and we're setting new records every day, the number in nursing homes is declining. Give us the resources we need and we'll get there. And the president has done that for us this week.
I'd love to ask you too, Mark, we do get lost in the numbers. Why do you think, specifically with nursing homes and our senior population, why do you think some don't believe the numbers? I mean, do we just not have the best research to be pointing to? I mean, how many times do you think we need to tell that some of these things genuinely are improving?
Well, people tend to gravitate towards the negative headlines, and there's a lot of reasons to be negative out there, and I get that. And, good positive stories, just aren't as interesting to people. But when we're talking about the lives and deaths of our senior citizens, the folks that fought for us in World War II and that rebuilt the U.S. and turned us into what we are, I think we really should focus on that good news. And that good news is that, you give us what we need and we will deliver. And I think the numbers prove that. Deaths are down over 70%. Cases are down over 50%, and we're continuing to make progress.
All right. Well, it sure is nice to hear you say it, and we'll continue to follow it the very best that we can with the truth about the numbers and shine that bright light. Former Governor Mark Parkinson, sure do appreciate you today. Thanks for being here with us.